Well, we made it. Here we are at session 4. It's great to have you back. In this session, I want to look at 3 things. Firstly, I'd like to show you some of the activities that we have built into Writer's Toolbox. Secondly, I'd like to show you one of the writing tools. There's 8 on the site, but one in particular I think you'll find really useful in day-to-day practice. That's Paragraph Creator. So let's have a look at that. And finally, for those of you in school leadership, let's have a look at some of the data that's available for you to track and follow your school's progress and how your students are getting on inside Writer's Toolbox. From your main dashboard, the part of the site where all the activities are held is Learn. Learn is where we hold our learning modules that are the heart of where you can learn everything about writing, from comma use to paragraph styles, to writing deeply, to writing analytically, to planning well, to using dialogue. Everything you might want to know about writing is here across 4 different levels. You as the teacher set the level your students interact with the site. But there's something else. So let's just log out as a teacher, because I want to show you the learning journey for your students. And I'll log out as a teacher and log in as a student. So here we are, and I've taken it straight in to a student's account. So you can see how the learning and the learning modules in particular work for them. Go on Performance. And in Performance is an immediate snapshot of how your student is getting on and what they're doing in all the different categories in Writer's Toolbox. You can see word count, spelling, paragraph length. It's a great little ready reckoner. But we also have Learning Journey. And Learning Journey is where Writer's Toolbox has pre-assigned learning modules for your student. Just click on any of them you like. The simple sentence, there we have it. There's information about the simple sentence. There's a handy quiz that says, well, you've learned about the simple sentence. How much do you know now? There are story challenges where you can go in and read a comprehension task about some aspect of fiction or non-fiction, learn about your world. And there are 2 quizzes attached. One is a content quiz that says, well, how well did you read this task? And the other is a writing quiz that says, how well can you understand the use of this particular sentence style or writing aspect within this task? And I have to complete now, but you can just use that to show people what happens. Oh, and I've still got some work to do. But there you have it. Activities, tasks, all built in for your students. Just click the back button on your browser. There are also activities loaded into these comprehension tasks for your students. So you see a whole range of things. Stories covering all sorts of topics. Each of them not only with the story, but also with a built-in audio track.
Recorder practice. Ellie was excited. "Mum," she said as she raced through the front door.
So your students can play them along and listen to the story at their leisure. So that's Learning Journey. There's loads of material there for your students. They can learn about all sorts of things, as I said, from the sentence to the paragraph to commas to dialogue and everything in between. Let's have a look for a second though at some of these other writing tools, because there's a whole range here. And if you want to learn more about any of the particular tools, you can jump in at your heart's content, but you can also just easily just click on the information there and learn more about the different tools and why they are called that, and in particular, what features each of them offer the student. From Robbie Burns to Jane Austen to Anne Frank. And Anne's tool is the one I want to have a look at today in particular. We call it Paragraph Creator. Let's just jump in and have a look. Works like this. We built it this way because we thought, well, there are moments in the classroom when you don't want to be bogged down by a whole essay or a whole story. You just want to focus on a particular paragraph. and become master over that form. This tool allows you to do just that. You can select the type of paragraph that you'd like to learn more about or have a go at. So let's click Compare Contrast. Up on the right-hand side comes, again, the sorts of tools that you're used to seeing with examples and videos that you can watch of the things that you want to learn more about. That's great. But click Draft, and now the paragraph has been exploded into sentence by sentence helps. And you can begin casting your paragraph. Vegetables are an important food to eat. Merely follow the instructions and work your way through as you craft the paragraphs. When you're done, you can click Preview, and all those words that you cast come together in a single paragraph form. You can click Publish and send your paragraph or whatever you've written off to an existing piece of work, or you can create a whole new document. The lovely thing about Paragraph Creator is that it enables the student, somebody who struggles perhaps in your classroom, not to be overwhelmed by an entire piece of work, but to build a paragraph or a longer piece of work, paragraph at a time. And as they've done it, send them through one at a time, and before you know it, you've built a large piece of writing. And it never felt burdensome to do so in the classroom. So I love Paragraph Creator. As a teacher, you can build tasks around Paragraph Creator. As a student, you can use it paragraph by paragraph to learn and widen your writing skills. So the last thing I want to show you in the session we have together is how, as a school leader, you might have access to information about how your school is progressing. Now, we've added this feature very recently on Writer's Toolbox. If you haven't got it, we're rolling it out progressively over about the next month or so. So don't panic if you can't see it quite yet, but talk to us here at HQ and we'll get you underway. But there are different license categories in Writer's Toolbox, and we've done this on purpose. The student licenses, which you've seen the student interface, that's fun. There are teacher licenses, and that's terrific too. And now we've created another license category called school leadership. And often now at this level, it's principals, it's deputy principals, it's program leads, it's heads of faculties who can use this to see across their area exactly how writing's getting on. And you click School Usage. And now I can't have a screen that shows me the individual class or the individual student. I have a screen that shows me how the entire school's getting on. And I can see data now, not only at a snapshot in time, but I can see how they've been progressing over the past few months. The writing strength in my school is going up. That's good. How are they going in their words? Oh, look, they're writing more words in Writer's Toolbox too. Their fluency, oh, that's coming along. Feedback, my students have sought feedback now on this writing tool 226 times. As a result, they've made 370 independent improvements in their work without a teacher being present. And look, their writing strength is going up as a result. So there we have it. We have school usage. We have writing comprehension, so reading comprehension tasks there for your students, activities preloaded so they can learn and deepen their skills, and information at the leadership level to see how writing is getting on in your school and how you can best help everybody in the classroom enjoy the sort of success they deserve. While we're here, let's have a look at one of the other writers and see again some of the versatility that this tool offers you in the classroom. I'd like to build a task, this time using Storyboard Writer. One of the things I love about this tool is the image options it offers you as a teacher and the way that can interact with the student as they learn. So give it a title again. And we'll type some instructions using all of the images shown. And you'll see why that's important shortly. Cast, I love that word with writing. Cast a 6-sentence story. Your story must make sense and use at least 4 of the keywords as well. Don't hand in your story until your writing strength is at least 70%. Okay, let's go. It's going to go out to my year 6 class. The word limit, look, we could put one in. 6 sentences is going to be somewhere between 100 and 120 words. So let's just pop in 120 words. Due date, we'll give it a due date. And now let's just pull up our sequence. I don't want a mind map. We did that last time. I don't want a box plan either. I want them to get straight into writing. So now I just select the writer. And of the writers, I'm going to pick Storyboard Writer. Immediately now I can pick my tools. I can add a checklist like we did before. I can add keywords. And look, I will add a keyword list because I mentioned that to the students. So my first story, keywords. Right. Let's make this interesting. Elephant. Blueberry pie. Cafe. Banana. Knowledge. And why not? Bicycle. Sentence styles, they can have the whole lot. Paragraph styles, well, that's fine. Images, now we have some fun. Because here I'm going to find 4 images that they can use to cast this story, that somehow they've got to reach into these things to make sense of the story. Wow, that could be fun. Why don't we have a bit of that? We could definitely have some of him. Oh, she's lovely. And, well, why not? So like I said before, you can now bring up your images and see how this works. And there's the images that I think the class are going to use. If there's one there you think, I'd like to change that, click on the little garbage can. You can swap it out. Preview task, and let's demonstrate. And straight away you can see here what's created. As Storyboard Writer gives the student this opportunity to interact and respond to imagery. You can reorder the images. You can think, well, how might my story take place? I think, first of all, I'd like to establish the scene first. So I'll work in the desert. Then I'll bring in the character. Do you see what's happening? Then I'm going to go, uh-oh, how did he end up? And we'll finish on the dog. And suddenly you've reordered the images. There's my story beginning to evolve in new sorts of ways. And you can do this for stories, for historical sources, for geographic infomaps. It's wonderful because it brings images into the writing process. And they should be there. If you want to get excited about the sentences, hit the sentence spinner and you're off. But I'll show you one more trick. So let's just go back out to where we were before. And we've come back to the task. I showed you here the 4 images. But sometimes, and you know what it's like in the classroom, you just want the student to concentrate not on 4 things, but on one thing only. I used to do it all the time in my teaching, so why shouldn't it do it here? And look what now happens to Storyboard Writer. I particularly like this because now if you just choose a single image for a task, you don't have the versatility of the 4 coming in a canvas. You have the single image, big and bold, there for the student to interact deeply with what they can see and begin to cast their piece underneath. Of course, if you have any questions at all, if you want further assistance or support in your school, please contact the team here. The email address is showing on screen. We'd love to help. We're here night and day, ready to go. All the best.